Star Trek became a television classic back in the 60s, but now there's a new crew on the Starship Enterprise. Our entertainment reporter Steve Kometko beams us aboard.
Mr. Wolf, photon torpedoes, maximum yield, full spread.
Star Trek The Next Generation is set in the 24th century, about 85 years later than the original Star Trek series. Like the original series, though, it was created by Gene Roddenberry, who again ran head-on into a force field of resistance.
I'm not sure what my expectations were. I knew I was a little frightened because we'd heard from so many people saying, if you lose Kirk and Spock, you've lost me.
He lost Kirk and Spock, but The Next Generation didn't result in a lost generation of viewers. A fresh cast and crew are now boldly going where the original series never did, into a 5th season.
I have always hated the comparisons of the two shows. When we produced our 80th episode, which was one episode beyond the original 79 episodes of the original series, people saying to me, doesn't it feel great, you've beat them. And my answer was, I don't feel we've beat them. It's like if your father died at age 65 and you make it to age 66, you don't feel that you beat him, you just feel a little bit luckier than he was.
Berman feels The Next Generation is lucky in that the studio sold it directly into syndication. No network threatening early cancellation and complete creative freedom. That included the casting. The captain of the Enterprise, the British Shakespearean actor Patrick Stewart, bears no resemblance, neither physically nor temperamentally, to the legendary Captain Kirk.
I suppose they were foolish and vain, my expectations of this voyage.
There's no doubt that we needed the reputation of the original to begin with. It was our launch pad. But this series now stands entirely alone for the quality of its work and its integrity. And I think, even as far as the most cynical fans are concerned, its faithfulness to the original concept of Star Trek.
People want the 24th century to be as positive as this show is. That's what I've always felt, is that we should be so lucky as to be living the way that people live on the Enterprise. We should be lucky to be here in the 24th century.
I was amazed when I watched Star Trek that there were black people in the future. You know, it was a wonderful idea that we would be there. You know, I thought Gene Roddenberry was the greatest thing since, you know, potato chips. And here we were, and we were looking good. I mean, Nichelle Nichols is gorgeous, and she was in the future. I thought, well, I want to be in the future too. I haven't been beamed anywhere, and they don't give me a phase or anything, but maybe this year.
Maybe, maybe not. We do know Will Wheaton will be back, making guest appearances as Wesley Crusher. He's been away at Starfleet Academy.
Wesley.
Captain.
And there will be a very special guest appearance by Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock. Yes, the same Mr. Spock as in the original series.
Spock will be approximately 75 years older than what we see in the movies, which will be somewhere around 150. Vulcans live 3 times the life span that humans do, so that works.
As successful as the original series turned out to be in reruns, as successful as the series of feature films has been, and as successful as The Next Generation is now proving in syndication, Star Trek is an entertainment franchise that's lived long and continues to prosper. Reporting from Hollywood, I'm Steve Kometko, CBS This Morning.